Welcome to Dr. G in Technology. Today, we're going to be talking about jumping careers. It's apropos for me today because today is my last day as a full-time professor in IT. I've been one for 13 years, full-time. However, my journey as an instructor really began way back as a student when I had a professor who looked like he was really making good, positive changes in people's lives. And I thought, I want to give that a shot part time at least, see if I like it, tip my toe in the water, and see where it goes from there. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Is a little bit about my last day in IT, but job jumping as well. Um, and that is the last day as an IT professor full time. So before we get too far, certainly give us a like and let us know what you like and don't like down in the comments below. Also, please ensure that you subscribe to our channel so that you know what's coming out, what isn't coming out. We try to produce videos every week for you to help you in your IT career. And then lastly, go ahead and join our village, the IT village, so that you can come into the community on Discord and you can get your questions answered. We're there every day, and others like you will be there as well. So on to our topic today, which is career jumping or job jumping. Um, it's I've always had a career in IT from the very start. So for me, that's more of um, job jumping and rather than career jumping. However, they're very much kind of one and the same to a degree. Why am I leaving, what many would consider a job you take into retirement or whatnot, such as a full-time professor? Well, a couple of reasons for me. I like to keep my skills sharp in IT, and why you can do that as a full-time instructor or trainer, it is a bit more difficult because your full-time focus at that point is on training, curriculum, students, grading, and everything that comes with that ball of wax. If you move into other areas of full-time faculty, like in my case, and become a chair, then you have administrative duties as well, which eats up even more time. But after about 13 years doing this full time, I decided to move back into becoming an adjunct instructor, which is where I started as an IT professor. I've always kind of been somewhat uh, dual job in the same career, meaning many times when I first started as an IT programmer, I eventually realized, I do want to try becoming a professor. I do want to learn what it takes to be that. So I taught at night, and this is even before online school became a thing. And shortly after, within about 2 years, I learned I really liked it. 3 years, the online wave happened for being able to get your degrees online. So I started teaching online and really liked it. And eventually decided to pursue my doctorate degree and said, I want to make a run at this full time. And did so around 2008. So it's been 13 years as an IT professor full time, but about 21 years in total now as of the time of this video that I've been a professor, both either as an adjunct or full time. So, and I've always taught IT courses and some others as well, project management, business courses, analysis, leadership, etc. But eventually you get to a point in your career where you realize that you've maybe just hit a plateau, or you don't want to take that career path any further, or like in my case, you just kind of want to jump back into something that you once started in, and it's just time to have a refresher, which is my case. So I'm jumping back in to the world of technology, getting my hands dirty, so to speak. And in my case, I'll be veering more towards IT project management in a lot of different areas and projects that I'll be working on. So those are some of the reasons in terms of why I'm leaving the full-time professorship, but I'm staying as a part-time or adjunct, if you will. while I learn to resharpen my skills in IT. So what are some lessons learned in terms of job jumping, career jumping? Kind of that's really why you're here. Well, first and foremost, you really have to keep your contacts. Keep up with what's going on in their worlds, so that you can ensure that you stay knowledgeable, at least, even if not skilled, you're knowledgeable about what your contacts are doing in your prospective career or your old career, right? In both ways. Um, Also, I would say, as you're maneuvering around your career choices, you certainly have to ensure that you are looking about 3 years ahead as best as possible. And that's a long time in IT. That's like dog years, really. But what I mean by that is you should always be looking about 3 years ahead to see what certifications or education do you anticipate needing if you're going to job jump or career jump, so that you get that education now, you get certified or degree or courses that you take, finish those, and then they become very usable and stackable, if you will. And so by stacking, I mean maybe you get a lower level certification, then maybe you move on to a college level course, something along that lines to where you're building the stovepipe of one piece of knowledge, if you will. So it could be anything from getting an Amazon certification to Cisco, so on and so forth, right? It's just kind of wherever your career is going to go, whichever way you're going to think that you're going to head in the next 3 years. And then lastly, I think the thing I've learned mostly in job jumping, kind of going back and forth within IT, is that you have to stay current. Even as a full-time professor, I never let my uh, education or my certifications lapse. I kept up with them, and there's many ways that you can do so. Each kind of certification or what have you, will prescribe different ways in terms of how you have to keep up the certification. But that is a big deal because you just never know when you're going to need that certification again. And even if you're not using it as something applicable to a course you're teaching, or in my case, or your current job, you might need it somewhere down the road. Now, there are certifications, there are pieces of technology that come and go, right? They're in vogue. What was in 3 to 5 years ago isn't necessarily as hot or popular, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're not valuable. I find most industry certifications are very valuable. But the big thing here is, since we're talking about career jumping, job jumping, is that they stay on your resume and your resume stays fresh, so that as you find ways to um, maneuver, job jump, career jump, your certifications that you're about to get or education you're about to get in the next 3 years stay on your resume as pending. Maybe you're not completed, or you mark them as complete on your resume, and leave them that way so that you ensure you keep your skills fresh, your education fresh, and of course, keep with your contacts. So I can't, explain deep enough how valuable those pieces are. So between keeping your contacts in your old job or your old industry, keeping new contacts, or making friends, so to speak, or acquaintances with potential coworkers is always key. You can certainly always find new individuals to make contacts, and whether it be Chamber of Commerce meetings, online forums, I mean, there's no shortage of ways to find someone who might be able to help you down the road as a mentor or a connection to, that job that you're really seeking in the IT career. So people, like everything else, is what it comes down to. And then everything else comes down on you in terms of your education and your skills as you move. Now, job jumping and career jumping is usually because you're trying to progress, whether you're doing it for skills reason, like in my case, or you're trying to get a promotion or improvement in salary. There's various motivations behind it, or all of the above, really. There's different reasons why you want to do so. A lot of successful people I've seen have job jumped, meaning they stay in a particular company for a couple of years, and then they find a new opportunity and go there to that next company. Kind of gone are the days of staying somewhere for 20 plus years. But it's certainly not unheard of. I mean, many people are still in their careers having a great time doing so, having been there 10, 20 years. But most of the successful people I've seen, have escalated the corporate ladder, so to speak, by job jumping. As far as the career jump goes, those are those of you out there who are looking to kind of um, move into something and out of something, right? So you have to answer, are you run away from something, or are you running to something? And if you're running to something, the IT career field is always great, and there's plenty of room to job jump within. So hopefully that's been helpful. As mentioned, tell us what you think. Give us some feedback about what you want to hear more about in terms of job jumping or career jumping. Certainly happy to answer those if we didn't answer them here. And we'll see you on the next video. As a reminder, click the like button, leave us your comments, let us know what you'd like to hear more of. Also, click the subscribe button and the bell button so that you're immediately alerted anytime a new video is published. Be sure to join our IT Village, which is the link to communicate with others within our YouTube channel over on our platform so that you can get answers to your questions. And lastly, in the upper right corner of our YouTube channel, click the free download of How Much Can I Make in IT?